So I've got it out of the packaging, and I've been looking over it, just seeing what's going on. The first thing I can say is it's very small and light. It doesn't have much weight to it at all. The battery's going to help that a little bit. The battery's got a little bit of heft to it, a little 6-cell battery, but it's very light. I feel like it needs some wheel weights, but I'll get into that in a little. I immediately wanted to change the body panels before I even saw the thing, because they were bright white in the packaging, and that's not what they are. At least on my model, the model that I've received, they're gray, and I don't know if the camera is picking this up real well, but it's kind of a light, really light gray. It's not glossy at all. It's a matte, kind of a matte gray. It looks really good. I'm not a big fan of all the stickers, all the branding on there, but as far as the panels, they actually look a lot better than I thought they would. So that's a big plus for me. I was looking around the electronics. The servo, it's a short servo. I haven't seen anything like this with any of my RCs. You see the body's really short, little stubby servo. This is a Spectrum servo, a SPM S602. Never experienced any Spectrum servos. I've heard great things about them. I use high-tech for the most part. I haven't seen a high-tech short servo like this. I'm actually going to definitely leave that in. I've heard so much great things about the Spectrum servo. I'm pretty anxious to see how well it performs. I'm a little confused by the servo saver. It has a servo saver up front. That's not something I typically see on crawlers. You need the force from the servo to push right through to the wheels. I'm not sure why it has a servo saver on there. Maybe that means that the servo's weak. It does have plastic gears, but it should be strong enough to power this through pretty much anything it needs to go through. The servo saver, I'm going to see if I can get rid of that, and even if the servo's a bad servo, then it just needs to be upgraded, and that's all there is to it. I don't want to run the servo saver. Well, I don't on any of my other crawlers, and I don't plan on starting here. But anyway, the steering linkage, it's pretty stiff. I know, like for instance, the axial vehicles, you can get this, and that steering link will pop out with flex because it's got so much give to it. This one's not moving so much. I tend to like the stiffer steering link. I actually don't know anybody who likes a loose steering link, soft steering link, so that's something I'm definitely gonna keep. I mean, you know, I wouldn't change it, but that's a good thing to have a solid steering link. I'll probably end up changing it to aluminum once an option part comes out. I feel like there might be heavy aftermarket support. This is a pretty neat looking little truck. I can see many companies wanting to do something with this, especially if it picks up. I actually don't know too many people who have one, but it's a pretty neat little truck. It may stick around as long as the OC Mini Crawler stayed around. It also has a Spectrum receiver, SR200 WP, I believe. Yeah, 2-channel waterproof Spectrum servo. I use those on several of my trucks, and it performs excellently. That's it for the Spectrum side of things on the electronics. It has a Dynamite waterproof ESC mounted on the rear axle. Never experienced any Dynamite. Oh, my other Vaterra has a Dynamite ESC in it, and it does well. No problems with it. Haven't changed it out. Don't feel the need to change it out. See how this one performs. I got a feeling I'm going to want to do some upgrades to this just from looking at it. Something I just noticed as I'm looking at it, One of my rear shocks has a black spring, and one of them has a silver spring. Both in the front have silver springs, so that's pretty weird. So I've done a little bit of research and talked to a few people, and apparently this rear shock is that way in order to eliminate torque twist. It seems like a logical explanation, but I have mini crawlers and this is the first time I've seen this. Maybe this is a compensation for bad mechanics, I'm not sure, but I've been told that the one stiff shock on one side is to help eliminate torque twist. The motor is also a dynamite motor. It's the exact same motor that came on the mini rock crawler. I know I'm doing a lot of as came on the mini rock crawler, but as I said before, I was kind of steering away from this because it's such a clone of the mini rock crawler. It uses a lot of the same parts and the same it has the same feel. They're the same size, etc, etc, etc. But anyway, it uses the exact same motor, only they changed the sticker from Losi to a dynamite sticker. It's all Horizon, so they're all using the same parts. The motor enclosure is kind of tight, but I have a couple of these Traxxas Titan 380 motors, and that would fit real nice in there if I could get that in there. So I'm gonna see about trying to get a 380 in there. That would put a lot of power behind that thing, and the drive shafts should hold up. They're reinforced metal plastic drive shafts, so they should do well, but we'll see about that. And the shocks, I said before that one of the springs was wrong. They're not threaded and they're leaking. They came out of the box leaking. They have air in them right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's air currently in the shock. So I'll be opening those up and changing the oil out and refilling, getting them moving good. The body panels, that I like the color, but they're poorly cut. It's like somebody just hacked them out around the edges. Not a good look, but I'll see what I can do about that. I thought that it was a 4-link suspension. It is not. It's a 3-link suspension with a plastic 3-link piece or Y piece. Not sure how that's going to work. It doesn't seem to have a lot of flex, but that's a pretty unique part. No rods. I don't see how you could change this to a 4-link, but see how that goes. 3-link, I'm not against it. It's just most of my crawlers are 4-link, and I'm a creature of habit. But it is what it is. The links are spaced fairly far apart. The chassis is so wide, I think that's, well, it's not required. I guess that's just the design of the truck, but they're spaced very far apart. I don't know if that'll make too much a difference in performance. I'd like to get a little bit more articulation out of this thing. Not that that's bad, but I'd like to see if I can get a little bit more out of it. I was looking at the little tube frame. It looks like I may be able to remove the front and the rear frames. I probably won't, but it's nice to know that you can. You may have to insert a little spacer in there, but it looks like you can customize this thing a little bit and move some things around if you wanted to. These are all screwed in on the side. It looks like you could pull them right out, the front and the rear ones. So it'd be interesting to see what you could do to change up the look of it a little bit. I have some thoughts in mind to change up the look of this one. Don't know what I'll do, but we'll see. It's a really loud gearbox. It's probably going to run fairly noisy. I don't know if it's geared, lubed, the gears are lubed well, or it's just the nature of it, but probably open the gearbox up and give it a little bit of lube anyway. I tend to do a lot of water crawling, water play, and a little bit of extra lube probably won't hurt it at all. So it does have super swampers, so that water play should grip up pretty well. The unfortunate thing is they're glued on the fake bead locks, and my particular truck has glue. They've been glued very, very heavily. I don't know how easy it will be to boil the tires off. It's a shame because super swampers, I have a buddy who really likes these, and I'd like to give them a try, but I don't know how much how long I'll be boiling those tires off, so see about that. Definitely want bead locks so that I can weight the tires properly. As I said before, it's very light and it needs a little bit more weight to hold it down and help it get over things. This battery needs to fit into this slot, and it's a bit ridiculous the way they have it right now. These wires are in the way. Sure, it can be worked out, but for right now, this is not good. I want to change it to a LiPo anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to run it with this stock battery pack for a little bit, just to see how the truck runs. Man, this rear shock spring is killing me. That's ridiculous. That's about it for my quick look around the truck. I guess I need to get it driving and see how it performs and see what it needs to get as far as upgrades, mods, or whatever. I can tell without driving it that it's too light. It needs some weight. See what I can do about that. These tires are really glued on. I have a set of low-C 1.9 bead locks that I may put on there. See how they do, but man, it's going to be pretty hard to get those tires off. But I'll get her running and shoot a few videos and see how she works, and then I'll talk about her again and see what goes on.